Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, y'all? What's up? What's popping, man? Super late night edition here, man. I started not to even come on tonight. I started it just to wait till tomorrow night, but I figured bump it, come on, do a little quick post game show. For today, earlier today's game, Falcons lose once again. Um, Fourth straight loss. Lost today to the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, Kirk Cousins homecoming in Minnesota, and another loss, another L for the Birds. So disappointing, man. So disappointing. I'm not gonna stay here alone tonight. Um, Hell, I had been cigar free for like y'all damn month. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I wasn't even doing cigars on the show no more. Nothing. I had been like cigar free for a month, but these jokers got me stressed out, man. So I said, look, I gotta light me one up tonight. Uh, oh boy, this team, man. Goodness, bro. Um, I'm gonna say this about the Falcons, man. One thing that I'm realizing about our team, y'all, is, and this has been a problem before Raheem, before Kirk Cousins, before Terry Fontenot, Bijan, who else is the big name on this team right now? Zach Robinson, Jimmy Lake. This is a problem we've had for a long time with this franchise. The Atlanta Falcons just don't know how to win. It's really that simple. This ball club, this football team, we don't know how to win, y'all. And that was evident today. If memory serves me correctly, the score was 21-21 going into the fourth quarter, I think. 21-21 going into the fourth quarter, y'all. And we end up losing what, 42-21, something like that. The score was 21-21. It was a tie game going into the fourth quarter. In Minnesota, they put up 21 points on us in the fourth quarter. This team don't know how to win. They showed the San Diego game. They still don't know how to win. This has been a problem. The Matt Julio era, the Michael Vick era, the Chris Chandler era, the 1980 Grits Blitz era. This team still don't know how to win. They don't know how to play a full fourth quarter of football. And I'm not going to dwell on the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl was the epitome of that. Like, this team just don't know how to win, man. And it's so frustrating dealing with it, man. This team does not know how to win, man. It's like they fell apart in the fourth quarter. Again, they fell apart in the fourth quarter. Um, First three quarters they was playing all right. They was playing good enough to possibly win the game. The first three quarters, it was playing good enough to possibly win the game. At halftime, the score was 10-14. At one point in time, we was controlling the game, but this team don't know how to win, man. And it's mind boggling. It's mind boggling. I'm also gonna say this. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Let's talk about the quarterback situation, the quarterback position. Kirk Cousins. Another game with multiple turnovers from Mr. Cousins. I think that makes now 8 turnovers in the last 4 games with no touchdowns. Man, I don't care what you got, bro. Like, if your quarterback ain't putting up no points and ain't scoring no, excuse me, if your quarterback ain't putting up no points, he's scoring no touchdowns, and he's having multiple turnover games, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose in the NFL. There's no way around that. You will lose. You're definitely gonna lose, and we saw that again today. Um, I think Kurt played better than he's been playing the 3 games before this one, but all in all, he still didn't play a good game. He was 23 for 37, 344 passing yards and 2 interceptions. Where's that completion percentage? 23 divided by 37, 62%. That's like 5 points below his season average going into the game. Crazy, man. But I'm gonna say this about the quarterback position. Like going into this game, I was like all for Michael Penix coming into play. I was all for Penix coming into play. I'm like, yeah, man, put Penix in. Give us a change. Maybe he can come in and bring a spark. But I'm gonna say this. My opinion may change after the next game. But as of right now, after watching us today, I don't even want Penix. I don't want Penix a part of what's going on this year. I don't want to even introduce him to this bad juju, this bad vibe. The loser mentality that is permeating the locker room right now. I don't even want him part of it. Kurt was a big reason that we in this mess, so let Kurt finish up this mess. I don't even want him to play right now. I don't want my Ricky to come in to this kind of situation where the team has lost their way. I watched us today, and I seen a team that just has lost their way. You got our DBs, and they running around, can't find the ball, falling over themselves in open fields, giving up big touchdowns, all kind of broken coverage in the defensive backfield, 100 yards worth of penalties. Man, I don't even really want Penix to get introduced to this team right now this year. I kind of want him to have a fresh, clean slate, And I know realistically, if we keep losing, they're going to eventually put him in to go ahead and get the rough edges off him and get him prepared for next year. Because if we don't win like these next 4 games and finish 10-7 and get into the playoffs, he's going to start next year. Kirk won't start. They're going to either cut Kirk Cousins in the offseason, or they're gonna try to facilitate a trade for Kirk Cousins, or C, make him arguably the highest paid backup in NFL history. But as of right now, I don't even want Penix to get introduced to this BS that we call a football team right now. Just save him for next year. I don't even want him dealing with this team right now, man. Straight up. I thought what I saw today, I don't even want him dealing with this team. Give him a fresh, clean slate. And there's a lot of problems with this team, man. We started at the quarterback position. A position that I've been complaining about all year, the linebacker position. Did outside of Caden Ellis, did Troy Anderson and did Nate Lemon play today? Did they play today? You know what I mean? Did our linebackers play today? And of course, I've been talking about Kurt a lot, and I'm sure any other content creators you watch tonight or before tonight, the type of conversation obviously has been Kirk Cousins, and rightfully so. But it is bigger than Kirk Cousins. He gonna get most of the blame because he's a quarterback, and that's just how it goes. You're gonna get most of the blame when it's bad. You'll get most of the credit when it's good. That's just how NFL football goes. But there's a lot of problems with this team. Quarterback, the pass rush seemed like they didn't came alive. You know what I mean? So, but even then, the pass rush is still way below average. They're not dependable. You can't wait until week 13 and say, okay, we can finally rush the passer. Most of the season is gone at that point in time. So we gotta fix the pass rush on this team. You gotta fix the linebacker position. I'm telling you, you cannot go into next year with Troy Anderson and Nate Landman as your linebacker too. It's not gonna work. Kaden Ellis has proven to me this year and last year that he can be a solid, effective linebacker in the NFL. But the other two, no, they can't. No, you got to get a linebacker here. And I be telling y'all all the time, man. I be arguing back and forth with other Falcons fans on Twitter, because they try to put out this image or this narrative that Troy Anderson is some kind of stud. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, Troy Anderson gonna get most of my venom because he's supposed to be the starter. He was a second round pick, and that's really who the Falcons had penciled in to start. But it's no. He's a depth piece. The cornerback too, Mike Hughes. I don't know what he was doing today. And for everybody who has had so much smoke for AJ Terrell, AJ is showing us this year like he's a good cornerback, but he's just playing on a bad team, a bad defensive team. But he is a good cornerback. You don't even see no problems for AJ anymore. And I'm not saying that going forward he ain't gonna give up receptions, he ain't gonna give up touchdown passes, but I think AJ's body of work has shown like, look, y'all get me on a legitimate defense, I'm not gonna be a problem. I'm going to be an asset. And it's just a shame that nobody on the other side of the cornerback can't really compliment him well enough. Clark Phillips running around with like a chicken with his head cut off. D. Alford, Mike Hughes. So many problems with this team. And Justin Simmons, man, I don't know about that guy. Thankfully we only signed him and Matthew Judon to 1-year deals. I'm grateful for that because I wouldn't want to see them pass this year. I don't want to see either one of them pass this year. To me, Justin Simmons looks slow to me. He always out of position, and when he's pursuing the ball, look like he run like a 4.8, like he the speed of a lineman. So it's so many problems with this team, man. It's so many problems with this team. Shout out to our running backs. Of course they ain't a problem. Tyler Algier, he ain't a problem. Bijan ain't a problem. They get out there every week and they play hard, they run hard, they do their jobs fine. So I ain't got no smoke for the running backs. But then you got the Kyle Pitts situation. We still can't figure out how to utilize him. Right now, I don't want to necessarily call Kyle Pitts a bust because I don't really truthfully feel like he's a bust. But he obviously he was nowhere near close to the right pick for Atlanta at that point in time. He was not the right pick for us. It looks like he has lost like his will to play at a competitive speed and a competitive nature. So it's bad, And you can get some of the smoke to Terry Fontenot and maybe Arthur Smith, for how they decided to rebuild this team. Starting off with Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Bijan, and some of y'all will even say Michael Penix. But that's what happens when a team like Atlanta want to rebuild and you want to just draft a bunch of offensive skill position players and your trenches are weak. You don't want to spend those draft picks and invest in your defensive line, invest in your pass rushers. You just want to get running backs and wide receivers and tight ends. And as you can see, man, you buy all those fancy cars, and you ain't got no garage to park those cars in. Those cars become susceptible to outside elements, vandalism, the rain, the snow, hailstorms. And that's what we're seeing, They fired Dimitroff, and then they came in and rebuilt the team like we were coming off 10-6 seasons, 11-5 seasons, 12-4 seasons. You know, you coming off 11-5 season, and you got eliminated in the playoffs in the first round, the wild card round, and the division round the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, I could see you maybe taking that tight end at that point in time. I could see you maybe taking Drake London the following year at pick 8. And I ain't got no problem with Drake London. I think Drake London is a very, very, very good young wide receiver, but the team was built wrong, man. And we are seeing the results of that now. This team really ain't no better than the Desmond Ridder team last year, man. Shoot, it's about the same record, 6-7. They don't know how to win. So there are going to be some big decisions to make next year. I've said a lot of times, I don't know if Arthur Blank would be cool with cutting Grady Jarrett, but man, you're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to start back rebuilding his team again. Grady has 1 year left on his deal, so you're probably gonna have to let him go and save that $16 million and try to rebuild this team. You might need to go spend that $16 million with Grady on the linebacker, you know, or maybe try to find you a viable pass rusher. But man, this is not kosher, man. This is not kosher. This is another game we could have won and we should have won. You know, the fourth quarter don't really tell the story of how the game was played, but the Falcons just being the typical Falcons, man. That was really a piss poor showing in the fourth quarter. The penalties, the broken coverage, and you know, Sam Darnold has played some good football this year, but he ain't that damn good. You know, he ain't that damn good. You know, that man running around like he Joe Montana or something, man. Like, man, this team, I tell y'all, bro, this team, they don't know how to win. The Falcons just don't know how to win, y'all. They don't know how to win. And when you brought in the new regime, when you brought in Arthur Smith, you brought in Terry Fontenot, they were supposed to bring in a brand new culture. And so far they have failed miserably, you know. And I think the front office has made some mistakes, but you know, I do like Terry Fontenot, but man, if this keeps going bad, you probably got to let him go. For real, you know, like, man, at one point we had an 80% chance to make the playoffs. 80%. After 9 games, we had an 80% chance to make the playoffs. Now we got like a 35% chance to make the playoffs. So you may have to think about letting Terry go. You know, if the Falcons really flatline and you lose the rest of these games, then you got to look at Raheem Morris. You got to look at possibly letting him go too. And I really don't think it's fair to fire Raheem after just 1 season. But if they don't win these next 4 games, if they don't win, even though I think they will, because you got the Giants on the schedule. The Giants are tanking. You know, they don't want to win. So. But these are the Falcons. If anybody will let the Giants beat them, it'll be our Falcons. But if the Falcons don't win no more games and they only win like 1 more game, yeah, you may have to look at Raheem Morris. You know, because you haven't improved. You know, you have not improved, and this is a travesty to us Falcons fans that every single year they drag this bullshit on the field and they try to dress it up as a football team. You know, it's a travesty to us fans who give our hearts to this team, who give our time to this team, give our money to this team, give our resources to this team, give our energy to this team. It's a travesty to us fans, man. You know, it really is. You know, the Falcons don't get their shit together and win these next 4 games, get into the playoffs. If you let Tampa Bay come back and win this division, which they are now leading, that would be another monumental choke job by the Atlanta Falcons. There's no way to dress it up. That would be another monumental choke job by this franchise, and it's disheartening. It's disheartening um, as a fan of this team. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because I know y'all feel the same way that I do. But week after week after week after week after week, just bullshit, losing to the Saints. The Saints were ready to quit. Lost to them, got blew out by Denver, Chargers, and even though Minnesota is obviously they're a great team, but we give up 21 points in the fourth quarter. Man, and I know like probably a month ago, when some people were saying like same old Falcons, and then I know some people got upset like, man, it ain't the same old Falcons. Yeah, it's the same old Falcons. It's what we've been seeing decade after decade after decade after decade dealing with this team, bro. It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. And I don't know what has happened to Kirk, y'all. It looked like he just done fell off a cliff. When I'm watching Kirk Cousins now, I see a guy who has obviously lost a lot of velocity on his throws. He was never that mobile or never that athletic to begin with, but he can't move. He's struggling to move. He is really struggling to move. And when he's throwing the ball now, I'm seeing him grimace. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but it looks like he's in pain sometimes when he throws the ball, man. But this team, man, I just don't know what to say about this team, bro. This is just so disappointing, man. So disappointing. And every year around this time, you kind of already know what to expect. The Falcons are gonna get on their bullshit, and just like clockwork, they got on their bullshit. Young Way cool, he making $5 million a year. He ain't dependable no more. Man, boy. Watching Minnesota run up and down that field wide open today, it really pissed me off. It really genuinely pissed me off, man. Oh, man. Coach in the building. What's going on with Coach? Coach, so he didn't run 14 yards. Stop giving him all the smoke. This whole team trash. I've been calling out the whole team, Coach. I've been calling out the whole team. I done called out Terry Fontenot. I normally protect Coach Raheem Morris, but I done called out Raheem Morris. I done called out the cornerback too. I done called out both the linebackers. Well, Troy Anderson and Nate Landman. I done said Justin Simmons' name. Talked about him. But you know how I go. It's like you're the quarterback and they paying you they pay you essentially $50 million a year. Your accountability level is going to be a lot higher than Mike Hughes, then Nate Landman, then Troy Anderson, especially like when you're not producing. Kirk Cousins is not producing. Yeah, he ran 14 yards, but like that was like Haley's comment. You might see that one every 12 games. That don't mask the 2 interceptions. And to be real, he should have threw 4 interceptions today. The pass that he threw to Drake London that they gave the tie to the catcher or the receiver, that they could have called that either way. They could have called that an interception if they wanted to. The screen pass where he threw another lollipop and the defender almost caught it with one hand, that was almost interception number 4. So Kirk Cousins is gonna get a lot of smoke, man. He gonna get a lot of smoke. He's a statue in the pocket, man. He's hurting us. He's costing us. And I've heard people talking about, well, it's the offensive sets that we running, and they came out today, and it's almost like Zach Robinson been listening to the fans. He's like, okay, well, y'all don't want us to run as much pistol. Well, let's line him up on the center. Still didn't result in no touchdowns. He's still throwing multiple interceptions. So, he gonna get a bunch of smoke, man. The mainstream media giving him smoke. He gonna catch a bunch of smoke, man. So I don't know. I just don't know, man. This, like I say, this team, they just don't know how to win. After all these years, they ain't learned how to win. And it's bad. It's sad. It really is. It's sad, man. It's sad. Williams say the Vikings is a wild card team, not a division leader. What they've only lost 2 games this year? 2 games. But yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna stay here long, man. I'll come on tomorrow, and I'll have a much longer, in-depth live. But before I go, man, I'm gonna drop this link, man. And y'all want to come in here and rap for a moment before I check out of here, man? Just click the link. You're more than welcome to come up if you like, and tell me how you see things from your side. I just see a team that don't know how to win. I'm starting to see a team that looks like they're in the brink of giving up. That's what I'm starting to see from this team right now, man. It's bad. We were at 6-3. We're now 6-7. That's terrible. That's terrible. We got William in the building. We got Coach in the building. Gentlemen, how we doing?
What's up? What's up?
Doing good, man.
I'm gonna make it real short and sweet, man. It's really simple, man. I just feel like we need to clean house, man. I'm just gonna be honest, cause Zach Robinson play calling is horrible. How you go from running the ball with Tyler Algier most of the game, then when we get to the end zone, we passing the ball. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Vikings got a good front seven. I get that they got a good defense, but they could not stop Tyler Algier. And Kirk Cousins, man, you got to go, brother. I'm not buying with Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris is putting his job on the line, brother. And Zach Robinson, I heard rumors in the air that he's trying to go back to Oklahoma State. I don't give a damn. You could go, brother. You could go, because we need to have some a head coach who not the lead man to play football. Right now, we not playoff ready, so we deserve what we get, and that's on Arthur Blank not hiring coaches with experience. That matters, and that shows, bro. We inconsistent, so Greg Jarrett might go ahead and retire. Justin Simmons gone, and don't be surprised that you Bates want to leave Atlanta and go to a contender team. Cause we wasting his time, really. That's all I got to say, man. Clean house, bro. Get rid of this whole coaching staff. Not Sarah Fontenot for not drafting Brian Murphy. We had this man in the draft. We could have got us a defense second. But nah, we want to get us a quarterback. It is what it is. Go ahead, coach. Say what you got to say, though. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, man.
It'll be all right, brother. I mean, my whole thing is, Tiny and you, we should be used to this by now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love this team to my soul, but I take my fan hat off all the time and say that we are trash. Like, we are not good. I said it, like what, 4 or 5 weeks ago, before the bye and everything, that we were fool's gold. Everybody was happy because we were winning, which I mean I get, but y'all were missing the glaring weaknesses in this team, and it's only been made more evident week after week after week. It's just, it is what it is, man. I'm not upset. I knew we were gonna lose. Like I said, I think we got maybe 2 more wins at the most. And that's even suspect because Carolina playing some ball right now. So that may not even be a win. And then how Falcons Falcon, we may go up to New York and let them get a dub. So who knows? We may not win another game. It's just I'm with you both, Toddy. I've been saying since last year it's time to let Grady go. I just feel like we're wasting our talent here. Those boys deserve so much more. Your Drake London. All you got to do is put the ball in Drake's vicinity, and Drake comes down with it. He deserves so much more. Mooney, who we just got this year. We resurrected his career, yeah, but you know he now that people know that he is pretty good, he deserves more. Tyler Algier definitely deserves better
I think
because
Tyler.
he
I
he
think
he
Tyler
was
do.
he was 1,000-yard rusher. Then we draft a
Running back.
running back, put him on the back burner. He deserved better. Kyle Pitts, I mean, he definitely needs to go somewhere else and eat. Like y'all said, it's just time to totally rebuild,
Clean house.
rebuild, and
Yeah.
rebuild. This is why I was saying I was so adamant. Over the weekend, in the eye test and other places, to not put Michael Penix in the game because I mean, it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Let him go ahead and sit, and then just might as well keep Kurt. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It's nuts that we are here, but it is what it is.
Yeah, go ahead and release Kirk Cousins, man. Go ahead and free that cap space. We're gonna have to do what we got to do. To trade up some of these drive picks and get some dogs on defense, man.
I mean, releasing him, whatever. I mean, you gonna put yourself in some type of you gonna put yourself in a bind doing that because his money gonna come due regardless. So
But
I
that's on Arthur
mean,
Blank though. That's on Arthur Blank and Raheem and Terry Faulkner. They
yeah,
made that decision.
yeah. I mean, like I said, he should have never been the guy to begin with. He wasn't a good head coach when we had the 6 games or whatever it was that we had him the last time. He didn't win a damn game. So I mean, it's just the Falcons do the most Falconist thing in the world. You have two proven coaches that you interview and you and you hired the
Hire
guy
insurance
who
coach.
got fired from one team and then when he was your head coach didn't win a game. I mean, it's just Falcons going Falcon, man. And I'm done. Next person.
All right, we got James and Tate 6. Either one of y'all want to go?
You go ahead. You go ahead. What's going on, panel?
What's
What's
going
What's
going
on,
up,
on,
man?
boy?
James? How you doing, bro?
What's
I'm
going
doing
on,
all
man?
right. I'm doing all right.
You want me to go ahead again?
You go ahead, Tay.
Yeah, keep it quick, short and simple. Well, Raheem said when he came in, he said we was a quarterback away, or wait, when he said if we didn't have a quarterback, he wouldn't be in.
Thanks.
Something
He,
like that.
Yeah.
he,
Yeah.
he pretty much he pretty much said both.
Okay. Yeah. Thought we was just a quarterback away. Seemed like we got more problems. That's all I'ma say.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. He done y'all boys. He getting out of here, bro. Arthur Blank ain't about to play that. He out of here.
Who out of
You
here?
ain't gotta take a chance,
Who out of
brother.
here?
You out of
Nah,
here.
he'll be. We got 3 years of this garbage.
But he
Might as
got 3
well
years in the
strap
hole, boy.
in. Yep.
Arthur Blank,
he
Arthur,
gonna at least get 3 years.
he
Who
gonna
y'all?
get three in the. He probably get two, cause
Who
the
y'all talking
average
about?
black. He talking about Raheem the Dream.
Okay.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
coaching staff
yeah.
got to go.
He
This
might get
buddy,
two. He
buddy.
might get two and some change because if you look at the history, besides Mike Tomlin and the coach from Cincinnati, the average black coach that's average black head coach, they stay around at least 2 years. So he got at least two.
Yeah, but this coaching staff got to go. Jimmy Lake and Zach Robinson, this buddy. This got to go.
Yeah,
I ain't
I'm
gonna
kind of
hold.
I'm kind of in agreement that and unless we don't win another game, and even then they'll probably give him at least a half of next year. A lot of that based on the money, because I think we're still paying Arthur Smith right now. And I know Arthur Blank a multi-billionaire, but and nobody want to play no three coaches, at
Yeah,
one particular time.
Shit, yeah. You ain't lying. Excuse my friend.
You good?
yeah, man. We wasting money, man. We wasting money, man. And I said that, bro. I feel like we should have got a defensive tackle. I go with my gut. I was pissed off when we got Michael Penix. I ain't even gonna lie because I understand that you needed a quarterback, a franchise quarterback, but at the same time, I feel like we should have just took our time, our diligence, and trying to look in the market and got somebody for like a 1 year prove it deal thing. I mean, we had so much money, we have so many holes, pass rushers,
See,
linebackers.
I
I
see what you're
mean,
saying, but you got to look at it. The past 2 years beforehand, they did the 1 year deals with the Prove It with Marcus Mariota,
yeah.
and you seen how that fare out. So with that being said, they was kind of in the stance looking at the roster before the season and was saying, "Hey, we're a quarterback away. Let's go get a quarterback." Undoubtedly, I wasn't a big fan of the Kirk Cousins move. I'm gonna be honest with you
I
from the
think they
beginning.
lied to us, man. They catfished. That man is hurt. He ain't have the process. He can't even look with his process and the velocity is just he don't have no mobility. Just take him out, bro. Like the man is done. He washed up, brother.
The thing about when you take him out, though, I mean, because I trust me, I understand where that sentiment is coming from, but when you got to consider the financial politics of it too. Um,
That's what I was talking about the other day.
it's hard to set up somebody on the bench and you done committed $100 million to him. It's hard to sit them on the bench. And I think Raheem knows that because you got to go upstairs and explain that to Arthur Blank. Well, why is this guy sitting on the bench? And well, Mr. Blank, he's playing up the par, and but that money, is still there. Even if we try to get off him next year, even if we were to cut him, we say Michael Penix gonna start next year. We cut Kirk Cousins. That's still gonna be a $40 million dead cap hit, and we won't save anything on the cap until the following season, which would be in 2026. So there's definitely some financial politics involved with Kirk Cousins. So we just in a pickle, man. It's like we just gotta hope whatever Kirk is going through, he fixed it. I'm not gonna sit here and just play like everything this year with Kirk Cousins was bad because there was at one point in the year he was playing like a top 7, top 8 quarterback in the NFL, and he just hit a brick wall. Like he hit a major wall, and he ain't been
Man,
able to recover from it.
I
And
feel
you,
like we got too comfortable, man. We played. I think after that Dallas game, Raheem Morris was getting these dudes too comfortable. You cannot take any other teams lightly. Like the Saints, after we won against Dallas, bro, I had a feeling that we was gonna start going to lose screen because they was getting too comfortable and all that. You feel me? So they weren't, what I'm saying, have that 1-0 mentality. You gotta be mental when it comes to football. You gotta say, hey, there was a good game, fella, but we got to move on. It's the next opponent. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't get comfortable, bro. I've been saying this since week 3. We are exactly who we are, bro. Y'all are just now realizing. I have been screaming our issues since week 3. I mean, it is what it is. It's this team lacks discipline in every aspect of the game. Every aspect of the game. It is just it's just nuts. It all comes down. It ain't just coaching, but coaching. As with everything, it starts from the top down. So if
Yeah,
coaching is an issue, everything underneath coaching is going to be an
yep.
issue. So
And I feel like we got too many yes men. I feel like we need to
yeah,
work
you
harder on
you
good
right on
coaching.
that, coach. Because I feel like today, I think we set what a record for the most penalties and penalty yards
yeah,
by
it's nuts,
state.
bro. We had and this is what I be talking about when I say like did Kirk play, Kirk should have threw them interceptions. Absolutely. You want to give Kirk smoke on that? Absolutely. But the team is there's context to it because the team took us yet again out of scoring range. We were within the 5-yard line, and penalties took us all the way back out till we had to kick a field goal. You know what I mean? So it's just a total lack of discipline. It's a total lack of. I mean, it's just It's everything. It's like y'all say, Jimmy's and Joe's and X's and O's. It's everything. So if the top is rotten, everything else is gonna be rotten.
And I'm gonna say this. I hate to say it. Some people might not agree with me, but honestly, we look worse than what we did with Ritter and Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
Fact,
right now we do.
We look worse
fact.
than what they had going on. Like
But you know
it's
what kind of
crazy,
crazy
bro.
though? I ain't trying to cut y'all though. You know what's kind of crazy? Raheem Morris don't show no emotion on the sideline or none of that. This dude don't have it in him, and that's what be frustrating me because like we have these soft behind coaches, bro. When we gonna start hiring somebody to get on somebody's ass if we messing up? That's what we need. Excuse my French, Titty, but that'd be pissing me off. But yeah,
How long have I been saying that shit?
So what y'all would rather see from Raheem? Y'all want to see him like be fiery on the sideline?
yeah,
There's Raheem is who he is, bro. You're not going to see that. He is who he is.
he a
There's
gangster.
going to be no change in that. I mean, I just think the best thing that should have happened for this team was to hire Bill Belichick or Jim Harbaugh.
Yep,
But we didn't hire neither one of them. We hired him, so we are where we are.
Let me say this about this the coaching thing. Harbaugh wouldn't come in here for nothing. He wouldn't come in here. We had
That
no
may be
chance.
true. That may be true. Yeah,
Yeah,
that may be true.
he was using us as a bargaining chip. Now, as far as Bill Belichick go, I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I was a pro Belichick guy. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. You know, there are videos that would solidify that. But my point of saying that is like people saying Belichick now, but when we was going through the circles of it, he was not the fans' favorite to get. Most people that I was coming across, they didn't want Belichick.
Yeah,
From my
because they're
interaction.
yeah, because we have possibly the worst fan base when it comes to football knowledge that there
right,
possibly is. Like
right.
like there's no way, if you know anything about
So
football, you wouldn't want the best coach ever to be coaching your team. That's just nuts.
see, but you got to understand though, coach. A lot of people, because I was one of them people that I ain't want Belichick, but football knowledge is on deck. What did he do after Tom Brady? That's the
What
big
quarterback?
question.
What quarterback did he have after Tom Brady?
He had full
Exactly.
control. He had full control of that team, coach. He could have
It
got
don't
him the
matter,
quarterback that he
bruh.
needed. He could have got
Bruh,
him the
you
quarterback
can't.
that he needed.
Great quarterbacks just don't fall out of the sky, bruh.
But
You
I
try.
understand
You
that, but
hit.
he could
You
still,
hit and miss. You hit and miss.
but you got to understand, coach. He was doing the things that was working at first, not working no more because the league had advanced at that point. And the thing was, at the end of the day, bro, he didn't win. He
Okay,
didn't
and
win.
we're not winning
He
now.
didn't win. He didn't win after Tom
Okay,
Brady. So with
okay,
that
and
being
we're
said,
not
with
winning
that,
now.
I understand that, but still, at the same time, at that point, what Tyler talking about? I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about at that point. He was not winning. Tom Brady left and went on, got him another damn ring.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
So with
Tom
that
Brady
being
is a
said,
good
so
quarterback.
hold on, coach. So with that being said, at hand, I would have thought that move would not been the best move for the Falcons at that point because
Okay.
they let him go for a reason.
And also, I think the Falcons, when it comes to we love to try to get the shiny things or the most popular player or the coach on their last leg. Look at all these veteran players, coaches the Falcons usually get that's a big name. It's usually on the last couple years of their career. Belichick was the reality is Belichick time has passed. It's time to move on from that type of Belichick. If Belichick was really
Is that Slim?
something,
Is that Slim talking?
Yeah.
yeah. But
Okay, never mind.
If Belichick was something everybody wanted, then he wouldn't have only had one offer. He only had one offer. The whole league said Belichick time was over. So is we have to learn to just accept when
Oh,
a person's time is on is really is over. It's like we stuck trying to go into the past to try to pull something out of it. We did that with Todd Gurley. We did that with Osayu Miura. We did that with you name it, every player. Steven Jackson is
Judon.
we always try to make something up when they on their last leg in the NFL.
player and a coach is two totally different things.
But you,
That's nuts.
but you failing to realize though what
I'm
Slim,
not
what part of
failing to
Slim.
realize anything.
Yes, you are, Coach. Because
No,
if
I'm
you're
not.
looking at what Slim's saying, he only had one off on the table. It was even mentionings with the Cowboys, and you see what the Cowboys did. You see other mentionings with the Chargers. You see what the Chargers did. Because at the end of the day, Bill Belichick was on his last leg. Bill
Okay.
Belichick was done for. So with that being said, even Tyler said he was pro Bill Belichick. But you got to look what this league is. What have you done for me lately? Type of league. And Bill Belichick with the Patriots wasn't doing. And excuse my French again, Tyler.
You good, bro?
Wasn't do
What you want
was
to say?
wasn't doing shit with the Patriots after Tom Brady had left.
And see that this is what makes my statement more glaringly true. Our fan
No, it
base
don't.
knowledge is out of
No,
this world because they said the same.
no.
They said the same shit about Andy Reid when he got kicked out of Philly. They said the exact same thing. Andy Reid. Now look at him. I mean, so it's literally
No,
about the players a coach get and how that coach can coach up a player. But anyway,
you,
that's neither here
you,
nor there. Bill Belichick's not
you
here.
can't use a
We got who
you
we
can't use a
got.
quarterback
I'm still
guru with a
talking.
defensive guru.
Bill Belichick not here, so we got who we got, and it is what it is. Time to move on.
Yeah, but coach, you can't use a quarterback guru with a defensive guru. That's like adding sugar to shit, bro. That don't mix.
I was a strong
Again,
advocate. I was a
again,
strong
they say the
That
same
don't
thing,
make
but
sense.
moving on.
I was a
Move
strong
on.
advocate for getting Raheem Morris. I was saying it before we even got it, a year before we even got him, that the Falcons need to get Raheem Morris. But I gotta be honest, Raheem is calling plays like folks play on Madden. It's like you're not being smart with your on fourth downs, and you're trying to be too aggressive. If when we played the Chargers kicked the field goals when they was in field goal range, and they got 9 points, and they waited for their opportunity to strike the Falcons. The Falcons now are just playing too aggressive. They're not being smart. They're trying to go for fourth downs when you could easily get the 3 points to change the momentum of the game. We should have been up 10-0 at the beginning instead of trying to go for that fourth down and turning it over. It's like the Falcons are playing like they have a controller. Like Raheem Morris have a PS5 controller in his hand. Like, man, play
We're,
smart,
we're
man.
we're on a 3-game losing streak. You damn right he should have went for it on fourth down. Try and build some type of momentum. He should have went for it on fourth. On the
Yeah, but
3-game losing streak, you ain't got nothing to lose.
but here's the thing about that. Yes, if you do get the fourth, it do build a little bit of momentum. But if you miss, it takes away a lot of momentum because now players feel like
Now we're,
I
we're
done
on a
went all the
3-game
way down.
losing
I
streak.
done went
There's no
all the
momentum to lose.
yeah, but points matter, and especially when you now in second place, when
I
you
don't even know
know
I'm on fourth.
like if to say these folks are not watching the score when Bucks are beating Oakland, was it Oakland or Los Angeles? Well, the Raiders. When they're beating them and you playing a hard team like them, you need your points. You need that moment. You need to have solid momentum moving the field. You don't want to move all the way down the field, then do something foolish and just keep doing these turnovers on down. Like this is not Madden where if it ain't working out, just hit the reset button. And not to mention, you have Kirk Cousins. The reality is Kirk Cousins is he's done. He can't make a lot of these outside throws. he can still throw it in the middle, but yet a lot of his passes hindering him, and that really affects the team. So
Passes and decision making,
yeah,
Yes.
especially that
Not reading
pump
his
fake
progression.
interception he did
Not reading
earlier.
his progression, man.
And I'm gonna throw Zach Robinson a bone, so we talking about coaches and Kirk Cousins, because I think what some people fail to realize is when you got a quarterback like Kirk Cousins who obviously can't move and his arm is starting to leave him, that really handicaps the offensive coordinators on what he can do and what kind of plays and formations that he can run. I think it's pretty apparent at this point in time that Zach Robinson was actually brought here for Michael Penix and his development, and
hmm
while Kirk Cousins is the bridge quarterback. But like I said a moment ago, it's like Zach been listening to the fans because he changed the offense today, and it coach your favorite thing, play action under center. He threw another interception by doing that today.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, he don't get no pass for me. I just you know what I'm saying. It's just the whole team as a whole, in my opinion, is not good. So yeah, you're absolutely right. He played horrible yet again today. So I mean, there's nothing to say about that. Yeah, it's
Jesse.
good. It's good. It's good. I'm happy to see we ain't see no jet sweeps and no screens on the sideline. I mean, on the line of scrimmage. So I'm definitely happy to see that.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
team loss. Like last week was a Kirk Cousins loss. This right here was a team loss. Jesse Bates played a horrible game. Simmons played a horrible game. But you got to give the Vikings credit. They isolated Jesse Bates to make him choose either you're going to play under or you're going to play over. And then you had Phillips and Hughes. They both was lost. They didn't understand which coverage to take. You saw AJ manning up.
Justin Jefferson.
What's his name?
Don't
They
forget
number
D
one
Alford.
receiver.
Addison.
And then you get caught flat footed. You pointing. What are you pointing for? You need to be out there following that dude. Like you already know that was AJ's man, and you gonna play like, come on, man. And then that one touchdown pass where the Vikings quarterback, I don't even want to say the man's name because that man looked like a Hall of Famer. When he scrambled in the backfield and extended the play and just tossed it up. And Jesse Bates bit on it because Jesse Bates thought he was gonna just run with it, and he bit. And then who was that? Hughes or Phillip? It was one of them.
It was
Just
neither. It was D Alford.
yeah, D
I'm
Alford
talking
Yeah,
about
just
D
slid on the
Alford.
floor. Just
He
slid on the
going
floor.
viral right now.
Yeah, just completely out the play. Like what was this? An episode of
I don't
Frozen?
know
Like,
what he was
come
doing.
on, man.
Mike
Just
Hughes
slid
got
on the
burnt
floor.
too.
Then he didn't even try to get up. It was over.
Mike Hughes got burnt too.
So now you got
When that
another
thing,
problem on defense. A CB2 on top of the linebacker play, on top of the lack of pass rush.
Yep.
that's why I say we need to go ahead and get some draft next year. But we got to get us some corners and a nickel
You
cornerback.
better
but
got any draft picks.
unfortunately, we only got 4 draft picks.
Yeah, we
So
don't even really got any draft picks.
Well, that's what we're gonna have to trade up and give it up because
Well,
that's
well,
what.
we'll have 5 when they don't re-sign Judon. We'll get a comp pick for him.
Yeah,
Oh
but we have to
yeah, I
trade
forgot about that. Yeah,
somebody.
because I know they
Somebody
ain't
got to go.
re-signing him. I know he got a sack today
I
and
think
all.
they're gonna. I think they're gonna probably try to sign him to another 1 year. I
I
think they're gonna
doubt it.
probably.
I
I
don't
doubt
know.
it, bro.
I
I
don't
They're
don't
think
not
know.
gonna
so.
let him walk because here's the thing, Judon. If you look at his pressure rates, it's still is he's not getting a lot of sacks, but he is getting good pressure, and I think they are gonna pair him with Trice and see how that work out. And you're gonna be able to get Judon back. He ain't gonna be demanding a major check, so you could probably get him on a good deal.
The reason I don't think they're gonna get Judon back because I think at this point they know they still need to build a team. I think they're gonna want that 3rd-round pick in lieu of getting like a 33-year-old who had an underwhelming season this year. And also, I at this point, to be honest, man, I think they're gonna move forward and say, hey, Arnold Ebiketie, you've been playing pretty good these last, 4-5 games. Zach Harrison, I think they're gonna go with the younger, cheaper guys as opposed to getting Judon back. I might be wrong, but I really don't see the Falcons bringing him back under no condition.
Hey,
Everything
I guess
is awesome.
I guess that polite is working out for old AK, huh?
That's what
It
he
was
doing now.
just,
And I and I
man, I've
just
been
want
saying this for weeks, man. Everybody was wondering where's the pass rush. I said it's simple. You take your DBs and you move them back towards the line of scrimmage because all of these sacks are cover sacks except one. If you move your DBs back towards near the line of scrimmage, it forces the quarterback to stop taking you underneath. The stats don't lie. The stats showed that the Falcons was the number one team quarterbacks getting completions on, and they was getting completions between the 10. What it is, the 5 or 0 to 10 yards. So, and that was the highest percentage. That means they're taking the underneath on the Falcons in most of their throws. The Falcons
But
took away the underneath and now you getting pressure.
but
Now you
now
got
but now
nine
but now
sacks.
hold on though, Slim. Yeah, we getting pressure. Yeah, we not giving up the underneath. But look at what happened today. We giving up over the top.
That was just three stooges out there, man.
Killers in the
That
Wolves
that
was in the
But
I
I'm
would
saying,
Wolves.
but
I would
but
say
but
I would say that was an anomaly. I wouldn't say that that was something you say, well, this is gonna happen every week. And not to mention we got 4 games. You
I
don't
don't know,
have
Slim. Them,
you
them
don't
boys
have
was looking lost
teams,
out there, man.
but you ain't gonna have teams with darn near 2 good wide receivers like that and a good tight end. And then and here's another thing. Look at that tight end production. Did he have any of this type of production under Kirk Cousins? No.
No,
He never had this type of production under Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins doesn't look at tight ends like that. So um you luckily our 4 compared to Tampa Bay 4, ours is we got the easier schedule moving into the last 4 games of the season.
No, we do not.
The Bucks play the Chargers and they play the Cowboys. The Cowboys is
they gonna
and,
lose.
yeah, the
They gonna
Cowboys
lose one
and
of
they
them
play the Saints.
games.
Those are considered harder teams. Way more than what the Falcons are going through. The Falcons got the Raiders, New York Giants, and we got Washington, and then the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers.
Slam. I don't know about that because Mr. Carr went down today. That's for one. He probably gonna be out for the season. For two, the Cowboys gonna be Cowboys at the end of the day with Cooper Rush. They suck, and the Chargers still carry a pretty good defense. So,
They literally said on TV that the Bucks have the easiest schedule between us two remaining.
Yeah, but
yeah.
if you look at
I lean the Bucks got a little bit more leeway than we do right now because
Then
we
the
still
Bucks
got
got
Washington.
momentum
But
as well.
but I,
Bucks
hey,
trying to
if
Right.
the
go
We
ahead
Bucks
got
and run
we
lose,
away with
got
the
gotta say that's
division.
we
fair.
got
if the Bucks
Washington.
lose to the Chargers, if the Bucks lose to the Chargers, and we lose and we find a way to win against Desmond Ritter next week,
We
we
got
back
third.
at number 1, and then we
Yep.
play the New York Giants. And I'm going off of hope
I
on
see
this
that
one. I
too.
hope the Cowboys show up. The Cowboys still got a decent defensive line, and then if you look at what's his name, Baker
Jalen Hurts.
Mayfield, he's throwing interceptions, at least 2 a game.
Yep, he just threw 2. I just watched that game. He was playing against
He also throwing
Las
three
Vegas.
touchdowns though.
He was playing bad too.
Two or three
He wasn't doing
touchdowns
all
as
that.
well,
But
along with those 2 interceptions.
Hey, look,
He got it.
I'm going off of hope on this one. I just listen.
I,
I just hope the Bucks lose at least 2 games, because the Falcons they can win out. And this, if they win out and the Bucks lose 2, we got it.
yeah, I hope the Markham Hellas come back.
To do
Watch the
what?
TV man.
But that's my question. To then do what?
We go to the playoffs. Listen,
and lose in the first round.
it don't
Hell,
matter.
I'm gonna get them
Don't matter. I'm like this here. Look, you got to get
head
to the
knocked
dance.
off.
Anything can happen. This is how all GMs. I mean, this is how all GMs and head coaches think. I just want to get to the playoffs. Anything can happen when you get to the playoffs. I don't care if we had to drag our way in. As long as we in there, anything can happen.
Yeah, we really need to get to the playoffs this year. Even if we lose in the wild card of the divisional round, it's just a morale boost at this point for the franchise and the fans.
Yeah, hopefully we
Like,
have the
So with
Markham
the
Hellas
type of
back.
play we putting out there on the field, is we gonna really get there?
Yeah.
That's a
I
bigger
still think
question.
we got a positive chance, like 51%. And I'm talking about just the Falcons alone. But if you add the Bucks into it, then I think it drops down to about 40%. But
35% now.
yeah,
35. So
but I
we really
still
need
think
the
we can
Chargers
make
to
it.
beat them this week because we play Monday night. They play on Sunday around 4 because it's a West Coast time, so they be playing at 4 on that West Coast. I think the Chargers gonna beat the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers defense not all that good. I'm gonna give
They
it to the
not.
Chargers.
And Baker Mayfield is he's not only is he a gunslinger, but he's making some
Turnovers.
costly throws too. So I don't think the Bucks gonna run they're not gonna outrun us. I think it's gonna go down to week 18, where it's like but I honestly think the Cowboys gonna give the Bucks a run for their money. I don't think the Bucks because the Bucks are not putting teams away. They're not putting teams away. Teams are staying with the Bucks.
Yep, one game possession really.
So let me ask y'all this. I gave y'all like my thoughts on like Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins at this time. I think it was pretty interesting to me when the game was clearly over at 42-21 with like 3 minutes and 30 seconds left that they chose not to put Penix in the game. So after today's game, where are y'all at with the Penix thing? Where y'all at with that?
My thing
I'm
is,
the same place I've been. Like I said, unless we are mathematically out of the playoffs, y'all can cancel that. He is not going to get on the field, and I truly believe that.
this is what I can't even find Raheem Morris no more. But nah, man, I feel like man, we need to get us another right tackle to protect on Michael Penix though. If we miss the postseason because we need to take that blind spot side, and we got worried about Jake Matthews because he's getting up in age too. You never know, he might come out of retirement. So I just feel like this team overall we got to go in the trenches. We got to go to a different direction. All these offensive players, we got to go ahead and get these defensive tackles, get some more safety help with Jesse Bates, some more nickels and corners. That's what we need to do. That's how should be our mindset. But until then, we just got to focus on trying to win these games. Stop turning the ball over, and we'll be fine. And play for 60 minutes. Please play for 60 minutes
That's
on
the
all
biggest
three
problem
phases.
right there. The Falcons don't know how to play for 60 minutes. They a
True.
35-minute team.
It
Mhm.
always has been, though. Like I don't ever remember a time when we were a team that played a complete 4 quarters. We always have been a first half or second half team, as far back as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think the Tampa gonna win it, man, fellas. Man, I think the Chargers are gonna bounce back because that was a good game against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are gonna find a way to trying to eat the clock up and trying to win because they got the referees on their hand. But I feel like the Chargers gonna bounce back. They gonna if they get some of the healthy players back like Gibbs and them. I mean J.K. Dobbins, they'll be all right.
See, my thing is when it comes down to it, I know the money on is a major factor because that's why I heard you say title with the money on was a major factor, right?
Right.
But you got to do the feasible thing, and like I've been saying this whole time, I don't want the kid in there. I've been saying that for weeks. But the thing is, you do have to explore and look at the situation at hand because for the simple fact it is, you got a quarterback, and I'm not just solely putting the game on him today because the coordinator did they do just as well today with that 50 ass cover three scheme. Um, but when it comes to that quarterback side and everything like that of that nature, you're gonna have to explore. You're gonna have to take a look at it. I know Coach been saying mathematically figure if they are out of the playoffs, then they'll take a look at it then. You don't want to wait till you too late in the hole to look at something like that. But with that being said at hand, you still have to take a possible look at that as well because for the simple fact it is, we don't know what they're doing on a week to week basis with Kirk Cousins. They may be working with Kirk Cousins trying to get him out that hole, telling him take it game by game, doing this and doing that. But once you got a vet that's still stuck in his ways on certain things, some things you can't coach no more.
That's true.
So with that being said at hand, you may have to look over there at that bench at bit number 9 and put number 9 in the fire to see how he does. Because that's part of coaching. To
Yeah,
see how your quarterback is when the real heat is on you. Because I know he only played one preseason game, two drives at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this can be another coaching point with your young QB to see how he does in the five within a situation like that. And I know you don't want to sit $100 million down, but when that $100 million ain't getting you where you need to be, plus some other things with this team, as you say, I totally agree, it's a 35-minute team. But at hand on the offensive side, if I see a rare opportunity, and when I mean a rare opportunity, I see Kyle Pitts wide open, and you throw the ball on the wrong side for the interception, something wrong at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking right there because he
I
overthrew Kyle
mean,
Pitts.
shit, he hit him dead in his numbers before, and he dropped it. So
Can't make the throw.
But
That throw was
I'm saying,
atrocious,
but Kirk
coach.
Cousins
Gotta
be throwing the
admit it.
ball too soon.
that
Oh,
what
my bad.
That throw
My
was atrocious.
Yeah,
my
man,
but
thing
that
is
that
this.
throw hit him directly on the
No,
numbers.
no, no.
that
I'm
he
not
dropped.
talking about that. I'm talking about the interception Kirk
Oh
threw.
Yeah,
yeah,
end
yeah, yeah,
zone.
that was atrocious. But I'm saying that's what I be talking
Yeah,
about.
now don't get me wrong. Now Pitts, he did get some more targets this game, and some of
There
the
was
targets he
jump
got,
plays.
he should have won his one-on-one matchup now. But
I didn't. I thought that was disrespectful. In my, this is just my opinion. You trying to throw the balls. First, it was that one play that Pitt should have caught, but you threw it behind on his back shoulder, so he have to do a turn like this to catch the ball. Now, granted, it touched his hands. He should have caught it, but I think they were just trying to let's get him some targets. The game is already over, but I was thinking about this, but I got to say this. I think if the Falcons don't put Penix in now, you stuck with Kirk Cousins this whole season. And the reason why I say that is because it's clear Kirk Cousins can't make the type of throws this offense needs him to make. And we clearly see it on the field. And I think for Raheem Morris to have control of this team, he needs to say, darn that money Kirk Cousins is getting, because I'm not going to let one player take us out of the playoff run if he's doing this bad. If I'm going to be this bad, I'd rather be this bad with my rookie quarterback so that way he gets touches. You
man,
can't
y'all
hide
lose.
this. You can't hide how bad Kirk Cousins is playing. He can't make the throws anymore. Like, we're trying to get more out of Kirk Cousins when you can't get more out of Kirk Cousins. You know, the reason why Aaron Rodgers can still make those type of throws is because Aaron Rodgers hurt his Achilles on his left leg. So what does that mean? That is not his strong leg. So he's throwing off of his right foot.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins hurt his right Achilles. So you can see he can't make the throws. And not to mention, he's immobile. He can't move. So the reality is, what else? It's like you're trying to get blood from a turnip here. You can't get nothing else out of Kirk Cousins. He gave you all he can give. Hell, Desmond Ritter got you this, and you paying him way less. So my thing is this: it's time to move on from Kirk. Go ahead and with the salary cap constantly going up, teams are not acting like the world is coming to an end if you go ahead and take a L on this type of quarterback, because most only downside is that if Penix come in, he better ball out. That's the only downside. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation, because if Penix don't work, it's hard to go back to Kirk Cousins like, come on, Kirk, we need you back out there. But if you put Penix in there, you putting him in there not to save the season, but to get out there and play. You don't want to put so much pressure on him to where if he makes a mistake, then you act like, well, go ahead, get Kurt back in there. No, you have to let him keep on even through his mistakes. So the reality is the Falcons are going to go downhill further and further if they keep playing Kurt, because he can't make the outside throws. Everybody sees it. You don't have to be an expert to see he can't climb the pocket with these throws. He looks hurt with these throws. He looks out of wax. And I always thought they was going to have a 2-year window with Kirk Cousins, but it's clear if the Falcons don't go ahead and move on from Kirk, and people keep talking about, well, you can trade him, you can trade him. No team is going to want to trade him for what a lot of the fans want for him. They'll probably give you an 8th round draft pick for Kirk Cousins. So you're going to take what you get, and all you're going to trade Kirk Cousins for anything. For anything, just as long as another team is willing to help take some of the cap space or the cap hit for Kirk Cousins. So it's time to move on from Kirk. And if the team already know they're going to move on from him this offseason, you might as well go ahead and get Michael Penix in there for these last 4 games, especially because you got an easy schedule moving in and you got a prime time game. If Michael Penix come in and he ball out on a Monday, you know how good that is for his morale because everybody's watching him. Like, come on.
See, the thing is, when we overlook everything with the trading Kurt situation, Slim, we have to look at what team is going to really take on a contract for an injury-riddled quarterback. Not saying he's injured now, but you got to look at how he's playing. And teams, not only the Falcons is looking at that, you have 31 other and some need a quarterback. They're not going to take on that contract Kurt has. That's out of the question due to the simple fact of his play because they don't want to risk that at all. So, with that being said, at hand, it's not an unfortunate situation because Kirk can bounce back from it. I still have a little bit of faith in him that he can bounce back from it. But at hand, that multitude, we approaching deadlines in motion that 40 mil is gonna hit. And a lot of teams these days are not taking on that. You've seen that with quarterback deals that's happened in the off season, and when it comes to that money of trading for that quarterback, they back out of it.
I'm
It's
not
been a
even sure why we're talking about a trade anyway, because the man has no trade clause, and I don't think Kirk is going to waive that. Kirk's not going to waive that. Kirk is going to be here. The only thing we're going to do is possibly cut him at the end of the year, but he is going to be here, and he is going to be our quarterback moving forward. I mean, just go be there.
I'll say this, Coach. If he will waive the no trade clause, but you have to, of course, you got to include him into where he would potentially be traded from, because a lot of quarterbacks have had no trade clauses and they waived the no trade clauses. Deshaun Watson comes to mind.
He said multiple times that his wife's family is in Atlanta. He loves being in Atlanta because his wife's family is in Atlanta. I don't think Kirk is going. He wants to retire here. So
let me make this point. I get he said that and he's supposed to say that. You know that's he being a politician in the state. He's supposed to say that. But if it comes to a point where they sit him down and say, "Look, Kirk, we got to put you on the bench. We've invested in Michael Penix this year, which you didn't go the way we wanted to go. So we got to sit you down." Now, keep in mind, his money is going to be guaranteed regardless.
Exactly. So he ain't going to
wait. Hold on. So if he has an option to sit on the bench and get paid, or potentially go to another team who need a 1-year bridge and start at least the beginning of the season and still get paid, the competitor in him is going to want to get traded to the team where he can at least go start and get paid because he still want to play. You know, he's
that might be true, but it might not, because I mean, family is a powerful thing. That wife is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's something we don't know.
But Coach, I really think that's just a minutia. You know, he's just saying that to ingrain himself into the Atlanta community. Oh, I love Atlanta. You know, we're gonna go to the Georgia Bulldogs game. I'm not saying he don't. But you got to keep in mind, this is a man who done made about $200 million.
$250 million.
But Toddy.
But this is the point I'm going to make. when you got that much money, staying in one place for 4 months out of the year is really irrelevant. You got enough money to rent to get you a private jet and go wherever you want to go within 2 to 3 hours. So when I hear that, I never buy into it. When you're talking about rich people, it just like when people saying, "Well, Russell Wilson want to come here because his wife from here." Like, that don't matter. They got money, bro. Like they can go
No,
anybody want to go. That don't
facts.
mean nothing.
And not to mention, let me tag on to what you just said, Tidy. Here's another thing: if the Falcons, let's say the Falcons say we're gonna cut him, and another team won't him, he got to move anyway. So
Right.
the thing is no one. He probably don't care if he got to move. His family probably don't care if they got to move. Or hell, their family can stay here and he move for the season. That's what a lot of players do. They family is in one whole state while they go and stay in another state for the games. I mean, for the whole season, and then just go home during the season. So, or
Matt
they can
Ryan.
just buy multiple houses. They
Matt
can just
Ryan.
buy, yeah, or you can buy multiple houses. But the truth is that no trade clause, no, I don't care what kind of player it is. If the team don't want you, they're not going to force themselves to stay on that team, especially if they tell you, look, we're going to go ahead and move on from you. All that, the no trade clause, all that really means is I don't want to go to a team that doesn't have a good chance of going to the playoffs or where I know my career is going to go down in the toilet. So I want to have some say so on the team I go to next. That's all the no
Right,
trade
right.
clause is
That's
about.
that's
You're
all the
not
no
gonna,
trade clause is. It means that
yeah,
I,
you're
I
not
gotta
just,
have input on my next team.
yeah, because you're not just gonna trade me to any buster team for any pick. That's basically what it is. That's what what's his name?
I know what it means. I
Um,
know what it
the
is.
dude from the Cowboys said he the Dak Prescott. You're not just gonna let me go to any old team. Or else, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and say no. I'm not gonna exercise that. But you're gonna have to get him involved in the next team he's gonna go to. But then Kirk Cousins is not a fool. He understands he's on the last. He's literally on his last 1 or 2 years in the league. He can't go any longer than that. So what else can he do? He can't say, well, I'm just going to stay here. If the team don't want you here, they're going to move on with Penix.
Yeah. I mean, even if Kurt try to play hardball with a no trade clause, they just gonna cut. They're gonna release him after June. Well, we'll just cut you then. You
Yes.
know, they would just cut him.
And you can split the contract. You can split dead cap in 2 years now, so you don't have to take the. That's a lot of times fans get bogged down in salary cap contracts. But the thing is, the truth is salary cap is an imaginary number. These general managers are so advanced in moving money that it really wouldn't bother them. Look at Denver. Denver done took an
I
$86
think
million
90.
contract. They split it in half. They said we're gonna take 50 something on the first year, and then we'll take the 30 on the next year. They know how to move this money around. Thomas Dimitrov said something better. He said something that stuck with me since on that last
Oh,
press
God.
conference he did. He said if a team want a player, they're gonna get a player. That salary cap stuff, they'll find a way to get around it. The Saints been in salary cap hell for the longest, and they find a way to get around it every year.
Not this offseason.
And but
They in the negatives.
Tyler, your question was like where we at though, like with Penix and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and answer that. I agree. I'm with James. You got to start looking at it, entertaining it. Like you got to. Yeah. Today the loss was a team loss, but once again, like you said earlier, Ty, Kirk could have easily thrown about 4 interceptions. He threw two, but it could have been four. And then most of them, once again, looking at a Drake London. The first one, the one with the pump fake, I don't know what that was. I don't know why would he even pump fake in that area where the defender would automatically try to jump and then still throw it. And then I honestly feel like as well, Kirk might be hurt. Like it got
He
to be
is
something
hurt.
wrong with his arm. He might be hurt because ever since
Listen.
he was on that injury report, things went downhill.
You're
He
right.
doesn't got that velocity anymore. The ball is coming out so slow. And we know Kirk was a gunslinger. Look at the
Yeah.
Tampa Bay game, how fast he was throwing them balls left and right. For example, the touchdown pass to the
Oh, they
touchdown throw to
hard.
Mooney. Look how fast he threw that ball. Now look how fast the ball coming out of his hands. I really feel like something's like up with his forearm or his elbow. if that's the case, like, just keep it real. Like, let us know. Like, it's something wrong with his arm. That
Listen,
missed the Kyle Pitts today. Kyle Pitts running wide open. All you gotta do is throw it in the middle, and that's a touchdown. What was that? That
He
ain't
did.
coaching. That
they're
ain't
not gonna
Zach
tell us.
Robinson. You can't blame Zach Robinson. You can't blame Raheem. That's a touchdown to Kyle Pitts wide open, and he just overthrows it.
Look, there's one fight you can always get into, but you can never win, and that's against time.
You're right.
And Kirk Cousins is just declining. Like, and the reality is, the man had 12, 13 years in the league. He has a pretty decent career. He's just declining, and sometimes you just have to say, look, I'm on my last leg, and this is it. Matt Ryan's went to Indianapolis. He looks completely horrible.
Yeah.
And you would say, how in the world he make it 12, 13 years? Matt Ryan had to come to the realization, look, I'm done. This is it.
Yeah,
He couldn't
that's
get those
real.
outside throws anymore.
Even if you don't want to admit it, when you done, you're done. Your body gonna tell it.
They had to
Your
literally
body gonna tell
fight
it. Your
Brett Favre to
mind.
get out the league.
Yeah, and
Brett
that's
Yeah,
one.
that's
Favre was turning purple.
That's one thing I do respect about Matt. When he knew it was over, he didn't fight. He like, I'm about to go get me a job at CBS. I'm done.
man. You tell me some good money. Yeah, let me hard for Maddie. But yeah, man, Kirk Cousins hurt, man. The media not gonna tell us. They not gonna tell us, man. Raheem Morris know that the Terry Font know they knew this dude was hurt, and I, you know what I'm saying. They just not gonna tell us what it is. We getting catfish. They're not really telling what's going on behind the scenes. But fellas, man, we got to win these games, man. Because like I say, we can't lose no more games. We not lost
I
4 games.
I think Raheem Morris is scared to make that decision, though. I think he's
Man,
scared to
yeah,
go ahead
he's
and
evil.
just say, you know what, Penix got the thing, because Raheem Morris lost his first head coaching job behind a quarterback, so he's trying to hold on to Kirk Cousins as long as he can. I think the Falcons. This is just the Falcons' way of trying to hold on to the past, man. Let it go. Go ahead and move on. It's time. Look, God. This is God's way of telling you, it's time to move on from Kirk. It doesn't matter about the money. People need to stop worrying about the money, the salary cap, and
Yeah.
because the thing is, it ain't coming out my pocket. So it is
It,
what it is. So
bruh, but this is what I've been talking about. You say the craziest things. It absolutely is about the money. He has to explain that to Arthur Blank. What are you talking about? He's going
before
to have to explain to Arthur Blank why he's sitting a guy that they just gave a guy that's in his first year that they just gave 180 or whatever it was, 180 million dollars to. He's going to have to explain that. Yes, it is about the money. It absolutely is about the money.
look,
It may not be
here's
to
my thing.
you, but
Okay,
but to the organization, he's going to have to explain that.
here's the thing about when it comes to the organization. Every team is all
We
like
ain't
one
talking about
big
everything.
organism.
We
Every
talking
team is
about the
like all
Atlanta
big
Falcons.
organisms. Look at Denver. Did
We're talking about the Atlanta
when
Falcons. We're
Sean
not
Payton?
talking about
Yeah, but
Denver.
I'm saying, but when Sean Payton nowadays teams will walk away from a contract and
We're
don't look.
not talking
They won't
about
look back
Sean
about it.
Payton
We
in
acting like
Denver.
the
We're talking
Falcons. We
about the
acting like
Atlanta Falcons.
Raheem Morris is not. He gonna go up there and say, "Look, I think Michael Penix is our best chance right now to make the playoffs,"
He ain't gonna do
and
that.
I'm pretty sure we are assuming how you got to explain all this money. No, if I'm pretty sure if Raheem Morris goes up there and say off the blank, look, we just not doing it with Kirk, and we're gonna have to make this change to Michael Penix. And if you give a compelling thing, Arthur Blank is gonna back you 100%. And the reality is, Arthur Blank backed them when they said we going to go get Michael Penix. So we already knew this was going to happen. Now it's just the timeline speeded up. You got 4 games, 0 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4 fumbles. I
9.
don't need to explain anything else. I can say, look at the whiteboard. He's not making the plays anymore.
That could be true, but what you said was it ain't about the money. It absolutely is about the money. That's one, and then two, you cannot compare Raheem Morris to a Sean Payton. Sean Payton has equity in the game as a head coach. Sean Payton can do those things, but Sean Payton is not on the Atlanta Falcons, so that's neither
The,
here nor there.
the,
But
the
Sean
point I'm
Payton has
making with
equity as a head coach.
the point I'm making with the Sean Payton thing is is that teams nowadays will walk away from a contract if it's not conducive to the team. So there's other teams who walked away from big contracts because they said it's just not working for the team.
And not
They're
in
not
their
going to
first year.
allow. They're not going to.
No team
That's why I
does.
said
Teams
if
don't
they
do it in
make
their
this
first year.
move, you say what?
Teams don't do that in their first year. You're not comparing two like things. Russell Wilson was already years into that contract. That's one. And then two, again, Sean Payton has the equity to be able to go to those owners in his first year and say, "This not my guy. I don't want him." He has the equity to do that. Raheem Morris in his first year don't have the equity to do that. Also, this is Kirk Cousins' first year on the contract. They're not the same equivalent, not even close.
Well, Coach, I'll say this. I do got equivalents for you. When Arthur Smith came and they did the same exact thing with Matt Ryan with the same kind of money. When he came, he had it for 1 year, and then they traded him the following year.
Yeah, but again, that's totally different. Again,
How's it
Matt
different?
because Matt Ryan was already here. Matt Ryan had been here for years.
But
And then Matt Ryan would not have been traded had it not been for them trying to get another quarterback, and Matt Ryan wanted out. There's a difference than Arthur Smith came in here and said, "I'm trading Matt Ryan."
It's really not different though, Coach, because we're talking about the same kind of money and the same type of contract implication. Matt had, I think, 2 years left on his guaranteed money. Kirk only has 1 year left on his guaranteed money, and you had both of these are well, even though Raheem ain't a first year head coach, but they were both new to this Falcons franchise, so it really is the same thing.
No, he asked to be potty. He asked to be traded.
But Coach, why? All right, let me ask you this: why did he ask to be traded?
Because they tried to get another quarterback.
Okay, another question. You don't think they knew that when they tried that, Coach?
They knew what?
That he was going to ask to be traded.
Nah, yes. I don't think so.
Yeah, they did.
I think they tried to do it. Well, first he asked Coach. I think what he tried to do was, I think they tried to do it under the radar, and the shit just blew up in their face.
So you can't do that under the radar, Coach. They knew by entertaining Deshaun in any kind of way it was going to make Matt feel some kind of way. And another point I'll add, when Rich McKay and Arthur Blank did their press conference after they fired Arthur Smith, Rich McKay admitted, he said, listen, even if we did not pursue Deshaun, we still were going to have to move off Matt Ryan's contract because we had to get our salary cap moving. So they were going to move past Matt Ryan regardless, and I think they did it. I think they did it under the guise of going after Deshaun Watson.
Right, which I get. I totally understand, but again, that is not the same equivalent though. That was trying to get because that was trying to get the salary cap under control. There was a lot of factors in that. That was not Arthur Smith coming in here and saying, "I'm going to sit and or trade Matt Ryan." And again, Matt Ryan had already been here, so it's still not the same. There's two totally different. They're not the same, not even close, bro. In my opinion, I don't find them the same whatsoever.
Actually, Arthur Smith moving past Matt, who had been here for so long, is even a bigger thing than moving off Kirk Cousins, who has no ties to Atlanta.
Again, but again, that had to be done for
you face more criticism as Arthur Smith trading Matt Ryan or moving past Matt Ryan than you with Kirk Cousins. Like, let's be honest, we don't have no emotional ties to Kirk Cousins. If they cut him tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, oh well, it didn't work. But when they move, think about it now. When they moved past Matt Ryan, motherfuckers was mad about that, bro. They were mad about
that. Bro, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but
you're not seeing how this is actually very similar to
it's not.
It's the same thing. It's the same money implication. You got a first time head coach in Atlanta. It's the same situation. It's not nothing different about it.
And if
It definitely is. You had to move on for Matt Ryan for the cap. That there was a reason to move on for him from him. This is totally different, bro. This is totally different.
and
Totally different.
I just don't see Arthur Blank jumping in the way of how these folks are coaching their team if they go to Arthur Blank and say, listen, Kirk Cousins just we didn't know Kirk Cousins couldn't make these throws when we got him. Now we clearly see he can't make the throws for us to be productive. No person would say, well, since we paying him this money, keep him on the team when you have the future sitting behind him. It'll be different if we didn't have a quarterback, but you have a quarterback that you call the future sitting behind him. Go ahead and move him in. So if you want to keep Kirk Cousins, you can. But more than likely, they're going to cut Kirk Cousins at the end of the season. They're not forced to keep him this offseason. So regardless
What are you
if they're
talking
not
about?
forced to keep, but
No one said that.
if the Falcons
No one
decide
said that.
to bench Kirk Cousins tomorrow, it will make no difference if they decide to cut him this offseason. So
That's a huge difference, dude.
no, it's
That is a
not. What
huge
I'm getting at
difference.
is Kirk Cousins still going to get the same check each week until he gets cut. And then they're going to have to work out how they're going to maneuver the money around for that salary cap. But yet now they have the future already in place. They don't have to worry about, well, how are we going to replace Kirk Cousins? That was the main thing of why they got Penix, because they already knew Kirk Cousins was at the wall. They just didn't know how far he was at the wall. Kirk Cousins is already through the wall. He can't make the throws anymore. He is completely immobile. So the reality is, I'm pretty sure Arthur Blank is not going to get in the way if they say we finna go ahead and bench Kirk Cousins and start Penix. As a
Let
matter
me
of fact, I think Atlanta will embrace Michael Penix as soon as he step on the field.
let me just say
And
this:
They will.
as
They
far as
will.
the money goes, if you cut Kirk after June this off season, or if you keep him, it's the same money. It's still $40 million.
that's exactly what I just
Yeah.
said. Fact.
I don't even understand what where. My bad. I thought we was talking about something totally different. I thought we was talking about this year. I'm not talking about cutting him at the end of the year. Who cares what they do at the end of the year? I'm talking about this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, coach, you know they're not gonna cut him this year.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's
can't cut
why I
him
don't
this year.
understand what the hell he's
They
talking
can
about. I
bench
thought
him.
we were
They
talking
can
about
bench
at the
him
end of
this
the
year.
year. They're
no,
not.
They can.
Yeah,
it
they'll
would.
bench him once we're out of the playoffs. Probably, absolutely.
Yeah, we all talking about the off season. They're not gonna bench him in like week 14. I mean, they gonna cut him in week 14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
why would you cut
Okay.
him when you can still go back to him? But what I'm getting at is you can start Penix now, and Kirk Cousins just buy the
They're
bench.
not gonna
And
do
then
that.
my thing is this: Kirk Cousins he made $250 million throughout his whole NFL career. If they say we're going to go ahead and move on from, and he's a professional, they say we're going to go ahead and move on to Michael Penix. Do you really think Kirk Cousins is going to start going in there mad and all that other stuff? No, he's going to say, he's going to probably say, you know what? I played like I should have been benched. I really wish the commentators asked Raheem Morris, if it wasn't Kirk Cousins and another quarterback was playing like this, would you still keep him in there? To force Raheem Morris to say it's about the money, or at least say,
No, his answer probably will be yes. You're not going to bench. This is what I don't understand, y'all. It's so hard for people to understand. You are not going to bench a veteran, even though he is playing not up to par right now. You're not going to bench a veteran and put a rookie who has had less than 5 minutes total playing time, and you're still in the hunt for the playoff.
I
No
get
coach
what
is
you're
going to
saying.
put his job on the line like that. Because if you put him in and he totally stinks up, the first question your owner is going to ask you is, why did you bench him? Why did you bench the starter, the one who has played in this type of environment when teams starting to load up, when teams starting to really gel and click and really go on runs, you're going to bench your starter and put in a rookie. They're going to have to explain that.
But
There's
shit, his
not
time to
going
go
to
on
be
the
a
run was
single
gonna be
coach
today's game.
do that.
The
So
time to
what
go on the run, the time to go on the run would have been today's game right here, and we lost
Right,
in the end.
exactly. And they didn't put
So
him in. Like Toddy said, they didn't even put him. They didn't even entertain the thought when we were losing badly of putting him in at the end of the game because they want people to understand it ain't gonna happen. If that was even a thought in their mind, they would have put him in today.
No, they was
mm,
never going to put Penix in
What are you
because
talking about? Every
Raheem
time the
Morris
game,
said that. Raheem
every
Morris
time
said
so
that.
far this
nah,
year, every time so far this year, the game has been out of hand. Who has came in the game?
Yes,
Every
the
single
game got
time.
out of hand. What did Raheem Morris say? He said, I wasn't going to put Penix in there because this was Kirk Cousins' game all the way through. That was a choice on my end. He wasn't going to do that because he felt like it was disrespectful for them to either take Kirk Cousins out of there. So he said, basically, out of the respect, this is paraphrasing, out of the respect for Kirk Cousins, I was going to leave him all the way into that game. That's what he said in the press conference.
Today, he said that in the press conference today.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could see that, especially with it being in Minnesota and he played for Minnesota all them years.
Yeah, because if you bench Kirk Cousins on a team he just came from, you might as well just tell Kirk Cousins, look, man, we're gonna go ahead and leave you out here.
It ain't-
You
y'all
might as well
can
get on the spare airplane.
then on
y'all
top of
y'all
that,
can
they was
wish it all
booing him.
you want.
They wasn't
It's
even
not gonna
cheering when
happen.
he ran out there on the field. The Minnesota fans was booing him.
Of course they were. I mean, he left. I just think it's completely wishful thinking. Once we're out of the playoffs, we'll see him. But as long as the Atlanta Falcons still have a chance to make the playoffs, they're not going to put a rookie. That would be the dumbest thing to do.
So,
As a
coach,
Yeah,
coach.
coach,
Coach,
question for you. Let's say, who we play next? The Raiders. Who we play
the
next? Raiders.
That's a
Raiders.
much.
Yeah.
We
Raiders.
should be better than them.
Okay, so let's say we play the Raiders and Kirk Cousins has the same type of game he's had these last 4 games. Let's say he has 280 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Do you think that after this game, after this Raiders game, do you with 3 games left, do you think at that point they move to Michael Penix?
Yo,
If we lose the next game and the Bucks win, that significantly cuts down our chances of making the playoffs. I think maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of factors and who else wins and all of that. But until we are mathematically out of the playoffs, I don't see a single coach, especially in his first year, doing that, putting a rookie in. If we still have if it's still possible for us to make the playoffs, it just don't happen. It's not
That's
going.
true. That what you saying, coach, is true. I agree with what you're saying, but I think this is a different situation. And the only reason why I say that is because you clearly see you're hindering yourself by keeping Kirk Cousins in the game. He can't make the throws and he can't throw outside. It's not like it's going to get better. It's just not going to get better. He can only do, he can't do the bootleg plays. He can't, his play action is horrible. The stuff he's doing is, you would think it's a rookie out there playing. He can't make the throws. So under different circumstances where Kirk Cousins is still, you know, making the throws, he's not playing bad, but he's just not getting over the hump, then yes, and you would keep him in there because he's a veteran. But since he's literally, his limitations are literally showing. He can't run. He can't even move. He can't
That
like
was so
now. He
crazy.
tried to do that one
He,
run. He
can't
tried to do
run,
that
but he
one
just
run, but
ran 14 yards. Like, come on, man. Like, come
yeah,
on, dude.
come on. The team wasn't even expecting him to run. They wasn't even
But
playing.
did he do it? The question is, did he do it?
But we know on the
Did he
collective he's
do it?
not
Did
gonna
he
do.
run?
We
Did he
know,
run for
but we
14
know
yards?
collectively he's not running. Everybody knows Kirk Cousins is a statue back there. Just because he ran one time doesn't make it. Oh, now he's a mobile quarterback. He's not. He can't make the throws. So that's the only reason why I say this is different.
But you
That
said he can't run, and which
he can't.
is incorrect because he did.
So he run one time. That means
It don't
he'll
matter if
be
he ran one or
immobile
10,000.
for the whole
You said
game.
he
Is
can't do
invalid
it.
now.
He just showed you he can. That's my whole. That's my only point.
He
You
can't
can't
run.
say he can't when he just did.
Coach,
He
read the
can't run.
comment. Coach, read the comment on the screen.
I don't care nothing about what that says. That means nothing. That may be true. That may be true. But what I'm saying is there's no coach that's going to take that chance. If you're still mathematically in a playoff, you're not going to sit a veteran for a rookie who has never had a lick of more than 5 minutes of garbage playing time.
All right, Coach. All right, I actually understand what you're saying, but let me add this on top of it. I get what you're saying. Your perspective. You're taking a logical approach about the situation, and I understand it. I'll just say this: if we go this next game and Kirk don't have a touchdown, you now have 5 consecutive games with your quarterback not scoring. I think that kind of counterbalances your point because it's not like he's struggling, but he's still putting points on the board. He's struggling bad and he's not even scoring. So he's really not even giving us he's not giving us a fair chance to even win games because he's not scoring.
Yeah. Well,
He's
but
not
I'm
making it
saying
offset.
if we lose the next game, bro, I think we may see Penix. I don't know, but again, I think it'd come down to the math and generally how he played. Like today's game, yeah, he made egregious interceptions, but he didn't play as bad as he did the previous game. This was a total team loss. So if he played somewhat this way again in the Raiders game, I don't think that they will be able to hang that really on him because it was a total team loss. Like who knows? He would have scored had we not got pushed out of, you know what I'm saying? Out of the red zone. And let me make this clear: I am not taking up for Kirk Cousins in no shape, form, or fashion. What I'm saying is logically, it don't make sense to bench him. That's what I'm saying. He's been playing like shit. If we were out of the playoffs, I would be like with y'all and saying put Michael Penix in. But as of right now, I mean, you have to ride with him. You literally have to ride with him right now.
But let's say,
Man, hell no.
let's just say this: no matter what, we only got 4 games left. You're going to probably, unless you totally bottom out the next 2 games, you're going to technically still be in the playoff run. The Falcons right now is what, like they said, 35% still have a chance to make the playoff. That's considered low. So at the end of the day, what you got to lose? You need to make if
If we lose the next game and the Bucks win,
you're still in the playoff.
the only thing we could do is a wild card, and then that's when records come into play, and we won't make the wild card because there are a lot of better teams than us. Washington will make the wild. Washington will have will be wild card probably. There's a bunch of teams. If we don't win the South, we're not going to make the playoffs.
Right. We gotta win these 4 games.
Mathematically, we'll be out.
But that's assuming
There's
every
a
other
lot of
team
teams.
wins. So that's
There's a lot of
assuming.
teams that have wins, that have a way better record than we do in the NFC.
That's assuming that we bottom out and the other teams that's in the hunt all win. A lot of them are struggling too, just like us. So a lot of those teams that's in the hunt probably got about 7 wins. So we all struggling. This year is not really putting up a lot of points, like the average number of points being put up. So the Falcons going to always have a chance through these last 4 games. It's just I feel like the situation is different now. If we still had a different like type of quarterback who could still make plays, I would agree with you 1,000%, Coach. But the thing is, we don't have that. We have a quarterback who's just horrible. I mean, he's declining rapidly, and if you don't take control of this team, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose the team, and then it's gonna be we can make the argument where why would you put a rookie in there when you still had Kirk Cousins? But if you see Kirk Cousins struggling, the next argument should be, as of right now, why are you keeping a quarterback who's declining in there when you have what you call the future waiting to play? Get him in there. But I say if you put him in there, don't put him in there with the mentality you're trying to save the season, because then you're putting too much pressure on him, and that could mess up. Because now, if he throw an interception, if he make a bad play, everybody gonna be, oh my God, now it's time to go back to Kirk Cousins. No,
So how
you
much
put him in there.
sense is that? Think about what you just said. How much sense does that make? You don't put him in with the hopes that, or tell him that he's trying to save the season. I thought that was the whole reason for putting him in. Ain't that what
Because
you
you put
and James are telling me? You put him in to save the season. Isn't
no,
that what
you
y'all
put him
are?
in there. You put him in there to play one game at a time. Just like how Raheem Morris said, listen, let us
Oh
worry
my
about
God!
us. We play one game at a time. We win one game at a
Okay.
time. Don't think about the whole season. Just worry about the game you going into. And you look at Bryce Young. When they benched Bryce Young, they forced Bryce Young to realize, listen, you don't need to save the season. You don't need to be the person to save the season. Now he goes back into the game. He's playing way better because he realized I don't have to be that person to save this team. I got to work with my team. Look at how the Bears are using Caleb Williams. They are using Caleb Williams like you supposed to save the Bears franchise. And now look at him. He's struggling because he's trying to be that person to save that team, but he can't.
Okay. Okay, bro.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I didn't want to stay too long. I know what we're gonna do the film session tomorrow. That should be another good one to look at because we was terrible on that fourth quarter. So if y'all able, man, come back tomorrow for the film session. We're gonna do it probably around about 4:30. We'll do the player grades also at that point in time as well.
You gotta drop the link though, Tidy. We was in that chat last time, begging for the link, man.
My bad, man. Because like the thing about it, because I saw the comments late, but when we do the film session, I be looking at the film tab and I can't see the comments. So I make sure to drop the link this time, and whoever want to come up, we'll come up and we'll watch the film. But again, I'm gonna do it around about 4:30. So whoever want to come up. I know Coach always come up on Monday, so I'll be looking forward to it tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that said, y'all,
don't stress you out, man. Just it is what it is. We garbage.
Well, we'll finish that tomorrow, man. But I want to thank everybody for coming up, man. I definitely do appreciate y'all. Will, Slim, Coach, Tay, James, and everybody in the chat. We'll see y'all tomorrow about 4:30. Y'all be good. Peace.
All right, man. Y'all boys be good.